Hi there, I'm Rhonda Lauritzen, and today I want to talk about something that's dear to me, and it is, how do you make tough decisions? And this relates to family storytelling because as we encounter sensitive subjects or we touch a nerve when when we let others read our stories, or we're not sure how to approach something that's hard, I call that grappling. And the process of figuring out what to do is similar to what I do when I'm making a big decision in my life. And it was on my mind this week because I was teaching a professional class and I shared the story of how I made the decision to start teaching professionals. And it happened because Rachel and I were starting to get really busy, and we want to tell everyone's stories. We love everyone's stories, but what do we do when we're maxing out on our capacity? Do we hire people? I don't know. There's just a bunch of different ways we could go, like something crazy like franchise. I don't know. So I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and my process goes something like this. I start sketching. I'll think about it in my morning pages, and I'll take notes, and I'll think about it, and I'll maybe kick it around with some people that I care about or advisors. Maybe I'll do some research on other models and take some more notes. And I just call that process like sketching. And for me, it's on paper usually, and I'm getting all my thoughts out there, and maybe I'll put an idea down and see how it looks, and I'll come back at it a day or two and look at it from a different angle, and maybe I'll make a plan. And so it usually takes me a few days, sometimes it's a few weeks, depending on how big the decision is and whether the answer comes or not. I mean, I'm a prayerful person, so I will pray about it and try to listen to my inner voice. And in this particular time, like, the answer wasn't coming very easily. Like, it was a process of weeks. And there came a time when we went camping. I swear the answer always comes when you take a step back, right? When you're not thinking about it. And for me, especially, if I get out in nature, I just put it on the back burner, let it simmer, spend some time with my family, laugh, play, just do nothing for a while. And then inevitably, the answer just comes to me like out of nowhere, right? So that's what happened in this case. And I was thinking about how there's something interesting when an answer comes sort of out of nowhere or when I'm not thinking about it. And I've noticed that the answer is often just really simple. And it's not like a voice in my head. It's just a sort of knowing. And in this case, it was just teach. And there was a little more commentary like, don't overcomplicate this thing. Don't do anything big, just teach. It's what you're already doing. Just share what you've learned with others. Help them on their journey. Don't worry about managing. Don't worry about controlling. Just teach. And then, so that has the sort of ring of truth to it, like the simple, clear answer. And then what I do when I get an answer like that is I take the next step. I figure out the very next teensy tiny step and I take it. And that reminds me of my dad. He would say, you can't steer a parked car, right? He would say, do something even if it's wrong, because he knew that motion breeds clarity, right? Once you start moving, either you'll realize it's wrong and you'll do a course correction, in which case, like you said, you can't steer a parked car. You can correct when you're in motion, or the next step will show up and the next step will show up. It's like you just can't see the answer in the darkness until you start walking into the darkness, and then the path illuminates, the next step and the next step and the next step. And it's like, I know that forces align for our good when we're in motion. I just believe that forces come out to help us. And in this case, I took a step, other ones lit up, people were interested. It moved all from there once I started acting on that inspiration. So that's how I do it. I grapple. There comes a moment when I know. And I wish I could tell you exactly how I know, like what it feels like. It just feels like peace. It feels like clarity. It feels like my inner voice, and it feels like it's coming from in here. You know, people talk about your gut. I don't know, my gut feels like it's down here. For me, it's like right here. Maybe if I did some research on that, I would know if that's like your chakra or something. I don't know. It just feels like it comes from in here. And then when I take a step, it's confirmed or it's not confirmed. And then I know also. So that's my process. I would be interested in hearing yours. Scroll down, leave a comment, drop me a note. Would love to hear from you. Over and out.